Here it is. Another Sunday out with your Bullfrog. Yep, one more Sunday with your Bullfrog. I bet you're all waiting for this, weren't you? With bated breath. And again, arriving in Glenarm with our mom and pa station, which you've all seen before. I wish it still operated as such, but not since 1958. There were a couple stores and carry-out shops that occupied it for a while, but nothing there now. Another mom and pa crossing up here, but harder to tell. From left to right, it'll come out of there after coming by the station. Here's the grade. And on to the right of that house. But they're leveling the grade off that was there. A big chunk taken out of the grade there. Oh no, they're erasing history. Oh well. We don't need history, do we? Who cares? I'm passing through a place called Giddings, but most folks who live here don't know it's called that. And again, passing a winery. Enough of them out here. And winos to boot. And to the left, one more winery. A lot of them out here. You have Maryland wine. Got the mom and pa still ran, they'd be hauling wine. I'm surprised, being it's Father's Day, the winery wasn't any busier than it was. In my case, I'm only father to a box turtle. And maybe a few roaches or something. Again, coming into Baldwin, another mom and pa locality, former mom and pa locality, whatever, excuse me. Just a crossroads with a couple of stores. Another mom and pa crossing here, but it's grown over. It's probably would have come out of there and then gone to the right through there, but reclaimed by nature. But believe it or not, there was once a railroad over there. I wouldn't lie to you. Where the tree line is where it ran along. Right along there. Then that way ducked into the woods. I walked part of it a few years ago. A whistle post. I brought it to you. Vid posted. But there was a track along there at one time. As I said, who cares about history? There you go. And, once again, arriving in Pleasantville. As you can probably tell. Again, a crossroads with stores at the crossroads on almost every corner. At the big city of Pleasantville. If you saw the Pleasantville movie, you recall that they had a contest in that movie. Win a trip to the Pleasantville of your choice. How about this one? Oh, not departing. Again, as you can tell. Now where I live, it's on Pleasantville. There is a particular mom and pa station I'd like to check out. The Forest Hill station. It was a hobby shop for a while, but it supposedly closed down early last year. And now arriving in Forest Hill, I'll turn right at the light go to the Monpa station. And there it is. I wonder if there's still anything still being used or whatever. Not a train station, obviously. And the Monpa Forest Hill Station. The last train to stop here would have been 1954, August of that year. But over here, still a sign that's about going out of business. That's a leftover sign from last year. For the last 15 years, it was a hobby shop. But in the 80s and 90s, it was a lawyer's office, believe it or not. Can you believe it? There were some rats using this for an office. I like pet rats, but that's it. I'll go for a closer look and see what's happening. Where now trains still ran. I'll be on the track and about to get hit by one coming north out of Baltimore. Yep, I'm on the track right now. Not open now, obviously. But even when they were still open, they weren't open on weekends, which today is one. Today is Sunday. It was Monday through Saturday. But apparently, it's Monpa Railroad Month. Alright, that's what I like to see. They got to go to Delta, PA for that, alright. There is a museum there. Open until 4 o'clock on Sundays. But now it's almost 5 or after, so they're closed. They still have their hours on the door. But I wonder if they're still open. Can't tell for right now. Excitement in Forest Hill. All those sirens make us feel at home. But anyway, again, I'm standing on the track. If the track still existed. And straight ahead there, I went through the intersection there diagonally and into the woods there across the way. Right through there. That structure is built of a part of it, I believe. Then they curve into the tracks are curved into the woods there. On its way to Delta, PA. And here it is, street side. Forest Hill Station, a subject of my photography for the past 40 years. Got many photos of this. I've seen it change over the years. But once again, we find ourselves on good old Route 1. Today we set out a bit later than usual. That's what the lighting is the way it is. The sun's almost directly behind me. After this curve will be behind me. This might be a northbound route, but between Bel Air and the PA line, it rarely runs due north and south. It runs more east and west than north and south. Hence the sun behind me. Hope you're enjoying Sunday with your Bullfrog. And again, Cliff's Liquors and Cliff's Auto Parts. Two things that go together, for sure. I could use both. And again, cuddling a dam. Long time, no cross. Whatever the expression is. I had to think, I've been inside there. Back in the 70s, I was in there. Watching the turbines go around. They did put in new cranes for the floodgates, though. That was nice of them. But up ahead, lying right towards Port Deposit, Lower Susquehanna. They're perfect for a Sunday afternoon. And again crossing onto Arrow Creek, which had a rail line named after it, which I've told you about before. Up here we pass beneath the Columbia and Port Deposit line, now run by Norfolk Southern. We also enter Port Deposit. This place is becoming a tourist hotspot rather quickly. My brother was here 2 weeks ago. Look who's here now. Me. Right now, I'm the latest thing in town. That's pretty cool, being the latest thing in town. Tourists or port depositors? It's tricky to tell the tourists from the natives. Oh, there we go. He's the port depositor. A Boy Scout port depositor. Whatever you call someone from here. Now heading for our next location. We set out late today because earlier I was in Ellicott City getting progress report number 1 just for you. Oh, biker dudes. And a biker dudette. Okay, let's see. Where to go, where to go. How about here? CSX. We'll see what's happening. And a place I for sure haven't been in a long time. I ought to come back here in December and cover the tree lighting. Back in 2017, I couldn't cover it because I got sick that night. And somebody asked me if I plan to cover it this year, 2018. I told him I'd try. We do have a yellow block there, facing east, which hopefully means there'll be a westbound movement coming out of that direction. Apparently a false alarm. Nothing's happening. So I guess I'll go someplace where something is happening. Right here. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Head for the station. Oh, would somebody still be here? I think I recognize that white SUV over there. We'll go have a look. All right, who's parked in my space? That didn't take long, by golly. Oh, got what it came for. So I guess we'll cross back to our side of the river. A couple of nights back, there was somebody being chased by police over this bridge. And about halfway across the bridge, they stopped their car and jumped off the bridge into the river. And somehow survived. Survived the 50-60 foot drop into the Susquehanna. Right around here someplace. And it caught me off guard. I'm not jumping over there. Too far of a drop. Let the cop arrest me. Better than dying or risking dying. But somehow the idiot made it. He didn't get killed, didn't kill himself. What if he belly flopped into the river? A lot of broken bones. I assume the idiot who jumped is now in custody, being he survived. Anyway, now in Havre de Grace. At one time, the branch line to Conowingo Dam ran down the middle of this road, long since paved over. And once again, down by the river, and waiting for more action. Well, a great day for that, for sure. That's why we're here. Heading for New York, Boston, and points beyond. Now making our way through Havre de Grace, a place the British burned down back in the late 1700s, but apparently they bounced back. I hope so, it's been a long time. I wonder how insurance companies were back then. You file a report. Hey, my house got burned by a British. What do I do? File a claim. Hey, what did they do back then when that happened? This was the original US 40 before the coming of the 4-lane highway. Now it's Route 7. Oh, send me back on 40, on the modern day 40. In a bit. Appropriate name for the road back there. Revolution Street. Yep, you say you want a revolution. The Beatles song says. Remember that one by the Beatles? We all want to change the world. I'd love to change the world. That was a song by 10 years after, back in 1970. Almost same as the Beatles song. But up near the crossing of the original line through town, before they rerouted it in 1905, original Northeast Corridor right here. Not anymore, obviously. And after the rerouting, that part of the track was kept in place for the Conowingo branch to help build Conowingo Dam. And now in the modern day US 40, and coming into Aberdeen, a place I know very well, having grown up here, so to speak. And now stopped once again by the original B&O station here in Aberdeen, built in the 1880s to serve the Philly sub. the Baltimore to Philadelphia trains, then on to Jersey City. Apparently, a wee bit of progress has been made. They painted the bottom half of the station and put a new foundation of cinder blocks as well. Well, better some progress than none at all. And still accepting donations. And there's the phone number for those who wish to. Here it is trackside. As I said, better some progress than none at all. Now, to me, that would make a great tourist info place, or great B&O museum, interpreting B&O history. Hey, why not? And the crossing of Old Route 22 with the loud biker. And if you're curious how she's doing, not too bad. She still has some foot discomfort though. Still has a lot of pain on occasion. But generally speaking, she's doing alright since her surgery. A big thank you to all those who showed their concern the past few months. It would be great to get a train right now, coming westbound this direction. There's a block signal up there that's red. There it is. Well, it's red for eastbound traffic, maybe green for westbound traffic coming this way. But don't know how long the wait would be. Look at the distance though, what a grade. It almost goes straight up the way it looks at this angle, from this distance. But no headlight in the distance. Oh well. Here by the station is what they call the Aberdeen food court. Open early in the day. No one here now, of course. All the food stuff's closed down. But if you go to Aberdeen, Maryland on Google Maps and click Aberdeen food court, all my classic shots that I took here will show up that I took in the 70s and 80s of the classic trains. So go to Aberdeen food court and click Aberdeen food court and watch my photos. Anyway, I guess I shouldn't tire her out too much. As I said, go to Google Maps and click that and check out all my classic photos. Crossing CSX. Any trains? Not yet. So I guess, as the last hurrah, I'll stop here and try and grab you something. There once was a crossing there, since replaced by a bridge in the mid-1980s, but I noticed when the crossing still existed. And again, if you go to Aberdeen, Maryland, on the Google map, and you click this station, you'll again see some of my classic photos of classic trains passing through here. Yep, I'm all over Google Maps. I just saw in the photos, at one time there was even a station building on the opposite side of the tracks. Now just one on this side and that's it. Since remodeled. All right. My hat flew off. And she's got it. Those things pack a lot of wind. And on the opposite side of the tracks, while she waits over there. Here comes something northbound that's opposed to stop. Those lights are flashing. Maybe that's why. And the bells are dinging too. Flashing lights and dinging bells. Ding ding. I'll take an ice cream. Okay, all aboard. Been a long time since I took a long distance train ride myself. Not since 1965. Oh, the memories. Took a train back from Florida that year. Talk about a train ride. Over the Southern Railway. Okay, give him the highball. Let's go. Okay, everybody's on board. The doors just got shut. Or about to be shut. Okay, let the air brakes off. Funny, on a train, the pressure releases the brakes. In a car, the pressure applies the brakes. But there is a reason for that, being that way on a train. See you in Boston. As the train disappears, Dolly is still there doing her thing. With some company, apparently. And back on the road again, after a last hurrah, but to cross the CSX again. Station. And about to merge onto a very busy I-95. Jeez. All this traffic for Father's Day? Must be a holiday now. Now I'm picking up some speed, but on occasion, I-95 looks very I-5 like. You think you got it bad? Oops, more brake lights. 15 minutes. And this traffic? Yeah, right. Picked up speed again. See how long it lasts. But anyway, hope you enjoyed your Sunday with your Bullfrog. But at least, doing full speed again. Still much traffic on this Father's Day. And there's 695. Well, what do you know? It only was 15 minutes after all. How about that? But as the sun sets, better get back to the hood. And hope to heck, I got a parking space that's not a mile away from the house. Oh good, they left me some room there. That's different. You've actually got a space. Now we are detraining, or decarting, whatever. But once again, thank you for the privilege of your time. And of course, thank you for spending Sunday with your Bullfrog. More to come. I thought I got my flat tire replaced.